Game director Yasumi Matsuno began his career at a development company called Quest that produced games on multiple platforms from the NES to the Sega Saturn. There, he originated the Ogre Battle series that started with March of the Black Queen in 1993. He also designed Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together for the PlayStation, and the strategy franchise would release 3 additional games without his supervision. In 1995, Matsuno left Quest to join Square, and began production on a title encompassing the grid-based combat and job-leveling party structure Ogre Battle had previously made famous. Abandoning Ogre's kingdom of Valeria, this new endeavor had to take place in another world, a land Matsuno named Ivalice. Gamers first set foot on its world map in Final Fantasy Tactics, released in Japan 5 months after Final Fantasy VII. Tactics was welcomed into the Final Fantasy fold by project producer Hironobu Sakaguchi and designer Hiroyuki Ito. Akihiko Yoshida designed the characters after working with Matsuno on both Ogre Battle and Tactics Ogre. The score was composed by Masaharu Iwata and Hitoshi Sakamoto. The story in Tactics was told by the historian Al-Islam, who sought to understand and communicate the events that led to the Lion War. Following a 50-year conflict and the death of the king, a race began to fill the throne of Ivalice. Prince Goltana of the Black Lion clan strove to install Princess Ovelia as Ivalice's true ruler, while Prince Larg of the White Lions supported the yet-of-age Prince Oranos, believing him to be the rightful heir. Amid the tumultuous political landscape was a boy named Ramza, from the noble Beowulf family, a young and naive aristocrat who would later become a mercenary. In the opening battle, he failed to protect Ovelia and witnessed her being kidnapped by his childhood commoner friend Delita Hyrule, who was previously presumed to be dead. With nothing left to believe in, Ramza embarked on a journey to recover the princess and uncover Delita's intentions. The quest would be wrought with political deceit, religious turmoil, demons, and the mysterious power of 12 Zodiac Stones. Unlike other series spin-offs, Tactics employed a battle scheme that was completely unique to the franchise. The skirmishes were still turn-based, but along with selecting an active ability, players had to be conscious of where their forces were placed on the battlefield. A blue highlighted area represented the boundaries of each character's movement, and their attack order was determined by a charge time meter. Each battle assigned you a different number of party members, but the team total always surpassed 4, sometimes encompassing 6 or more, a series first. While the fighting was a departure from what fans were used to, the class system in Tactics was a classic upgrade from Final Fantasy V. Squire and Chemist were the base jobs, evolving into warrior and mage roles respectively. Black mages were called wizards, white mages were dubbed priests, and dragoons went by lancers, but the jobs monk, archer, time mage, summoner, dancer, bard, samurai, ninja, and geomancer remained intact. And along with new professions Oracle, Mediator, and Calculator, there were 9 unique job classes that belonged to the several special characters that joined your ranks, from the sharpshooting engineer Mustadio to the fetching holy knight Agrias. The overworld map was completely linear, and random battles only took place when your crew passed through designated green waypoints on the path. Towns could only be accessed through a menu interface, with available options including accepting side quests, buying new equipment, poaching monsters, and recruiting new party members. Despite being created outside of the core series, Tactics still retained many Roman numeral niceties. Chocobos were still the preferred method of travel, though only in battle and in cutscenes. Cid appeared as Cidolfus T.G. Cid Orlandu, a knight and hero of the 50-Year War, who joined Ramza and his crew under the player's discretion. Even Cloud Strife himself stumbled into the story, complete with a convenient case of amnesia, and a stock of familiar-looking limit breaks, given that you found his materia blade, of course. While Tactics was slightly obscured by the wake of 7, it's still one of the most revered titles to bear the Final Fantasy name. The gameplay was considered gloriously diverse, the job system endlessly adjustable, and the graphical detail in the environments and attacks some of the best on the system. About the only thing that was universally disliked about Tactics was the patchy English translation, which led many gamers and reviewers to become disconnected with the plot. But the story wasn't over, and gamers would soon return to Ivalice, whether they knew they were doing so or not. Vagrant Story was released in Japan on February 10, 2000. The one-man dungeon runner didn't have Final Fantasy in its title or even in its subtext, but took place around the kingdom of Valendia, which rested in a continent north of the expanded Ivalice from future games. The story followed Ashley Riot, an agent for the VKP, or Valendia Knights of the Peace, and his new inexperienced partner Calo Merlos. While relentlessly chasing a religious fanatic and cult leader named Sidney Losterod, Ashley frequently crossed paths with the Crimson Blades, an arm of the Cardinals Knights of the Cross, and their leader Guildenstern. The aim of the story's villains was to achieve immortality by harnessing a force known as the Darkness, a plague which had laid waste to Leamon and turned its victims into the Walking Dead. Vagrant Story was more of an action affair, but it was still full of careful tactical brawls and highly customizable weapons. Enemy encounters opened up a wireframe battlesphere, and anything inside it was deemed close enough to strike or shoot. Weapons